This is Sophie and this is Simon. We're talking about from Ezer, the program Ezer, and we're talking today to all women, whether you've done this program or not, about living significantly. And so as you listen to us, we will just quickly go through a few things about living significantly, especially during this time. I'm going to introduce, and then Sophie is going to talk about our personal experience in this matter, especially during this COVID-19, and just some of the reflections around living significantly. You know, all of us get to pursue success. We all want to be successful. And I think as we went through COVID-19, one of the things I got to realize is that the success we pursue is important, but it could be lost, you know, overnight. We're talking about success being wealth, and some of us, our wealth, you know, dwindled pretty significantly during this time. Some of us, our wealth went up because of the industry that we are involved in. But there are a lot of people who lost their wealth almost overnight. Success is about career, and there's some of us who maybe have lost our jobs, and we've got to begin to look for new jobs during this time. And we need to understand, so what do we do? If success is all we held on to in terms of career, then are we successful? Then status and performance and power, those things are the ones that define success. And they're important because without them, then we cannot go to the next level, which is significance. We need significance, but it begins with success, about pursuing worthwhile goals and achieving them. And once we achieve them, then we are able to, through them, move on to the state of significance. But before we go to significance and living significantly, there are 4 Ds of success that I always talk to people about. 4 Ds of success. If we're going to be successful in gaining, you know, the status that we long for, the career path and growth that we have planned for, then there are 4 Ds that we need to look at. Number 1 is dreams. We all need some dreams, and all dreams are valid. Dreams about money, dreams about going for vacation, dreams about where to live in the part of the city. All of those are dreams, and we need to make sure that we have clear dreams. You know, a lot of times when we're young, we have dreams that are unchecked, and we dream of becoming pilot, becoming this and the other, having a lot of money, having a ranch, traveling the world, things like that. But over time, I think those dreams die off. But you cannot go far, you cannot have success without a dream. And so during this time of COVID and reflection, it's time to relook at your dreams. What are the things that you desire to achieve? Dreams are important. Without them, there's no success. They're really at the foundation of success. Number 2 is a determination. Determination. Because what happens, we start off with dreams and then things don't go the way we wanted them to go. We don't go to the high school we thought we would go to. We don't do the college degree that we thought we would do. And it's very easy to give up and say these dreams will never be fulfilled. So we need a determination that refuses to give up, that always picks itself up, whatever it is. So some of you have lost your jobs. Some of you whose wealth has shrunk because of COVID. You need to be determined enough to say, I will still stand up and I'm still going to do what I need to do. I'm still going to pursue what I thought I could pursue. I might have gotten a setback, but a setback is never final. It's only a preparation for a comeback. And so whatever your setback, be determined to rise up and move on to wherever it is that you've dreamt of going to. So 4 Ds of success. 1 is dreams. Number 2 is determination. Number 3 is discipline. Nobody ever got there without discipline. You know, we're talking about time discipline, you know, not just watching movies for 6 hours during this COVID and never really reading, never really writing, never really investing in what your dreams are. So discipline of time, but also discipline of work, putting in the work. As they say, there's no free lunch. You've got to put in work if you're going to get what it is that you want to get. And so getting to that place where you say, I'm going to put in the effort, I'm going to put in the time, I'm going to toil so that I may get to where I need to do. So that's discipline. Then number 4 and lastly is self-development. It's growing yourself. It's getting to the place where you realize you need to constantly read, constantly watch some clips online, build the skills that you need for the dream that you need to achieve. Development, you need that. Develop yourself, grow yourself, build yourself up so that you may be the kind of person that you need to be. So 4 Ds of success: dreams, determination, discipline, and self-development. Maybe before now I quickly go into significance, I could just ask Sophie here, out of the 4 Ds, which is the one you say, this is the one I need to work on a lot more? Out of dreams, determination, development of self, and discipline.
Thank you, Simon. I think the thing that I really need to work on is development of self and discipline. I think it's what happens in a season like this one is that you may find that you're putting in a lot of effort, and yeah, you're just not getting the results that you want, and it therefore becomes very imperative for you to just become disciplined, to keep doing, to know that really at the end of the day, success is a result of consistent effort that you put in towards something. And I think that effort must also be coupled with a lot of faith that really at the end of the day, there's going to be fruit. Yeah. And also to develop self, because again, especially in a season like this one, you realize that what you knew about leadership even a month ago now has been challenged. You have to really find out what to do. It's a different space. So developing self and just reaching out, learning from others.
So I think for me sometimes it's even dreams. I feel like I've gotten to a point where it's easy to say, well, I feel like I need to birth new dreams of possibilities, even after COVID-19. What are some of the possibilities? And dream afresh of what I could do in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years. If you're joining us, we're talking about success and how to move on from success to significance. As a lady, this is for ladies, but I'm here with my wife, Sophia, and we want to invite you, just make some comment as we continue. Invite some of your friends and host a watch party so that we may reach even more people. So let's share this widely as we talk about significance, living significantly. So we have talked about the 4 Ds of success. For you to move on to significance, then you need to be building your success. So dreams, worthwhile dreams. We're talking about determination. So this is living significantly. Simon and Sophie Mbevi. We're talking about to the ladies about just living significantly, talking out of Ezer, the program that we do for the ladies. And we will tell you more about it. But now we were talking about pursuing success. So I just go back to what we were talking about. If you're joining us, feel free to host a watch party and to invite some of your friends to come on back. We talked about our pursuit of success and how this COVID-19 has just challenged the thing about success, our wealth, our status, our performance, our career growth, power, things like that. But then we said also success is important. You cannot move on to significance if you're not succeeding in your basic call as a person. And we talked about the 4 Ds of success, just to remind us. And number 1, we talked about dreams, that we need to have dreams at whatever age that we are, at whatever stage of life. Those of us who have lost jobs and have to almost start afresh, we've got to dream again and realize that there's a lot more that we can get to do as well in the coming days. So dreams, we talked about determination, being determined enough to follow those dreams until you achieve those dreams. There are setbacks, but as someone has said, setbacks are always preparation for a comeback. And then we're talking about discipline and the ability to discipline yourself until you achieve what you need to achieve. So you keep at it until you achieve it. And lastly, we're talking about development of self. How do you develop yourself, keep growing yourself by reading and learning from others and learning from life, so that you acquire the skills that you need to continue to develop. But now we were turning on to significance and talking about what significance really is. Yes, we need to follow the 4 Ds so that we succeed: dreams, determination, discipline, and self-development. But we need to move on to significance. I think during a time like this, when success could easily be wiped out, is when you ask yourself, so what is really significant in life? What is it that I'm willing and I want to live with in spite of what happens? What is significance? Now, we were looking at the dictionary and we were seeing that significance is about meaning, is about importance. The meaning that you have for your life is about the importance or the import that your life carries. Is about worth. What is your worth at the end of the day? Is about substance. It's about like weight. What is the substance of your life? That's a question we're asking. What is it that you weigh? It's about consequence. What's a consequence of your life? It's about distinction. It's about uniqueness, how unique you are in terms of knowing what you're about and what your call is and how you are fulfilling that. Genesis chapter 1 verse 28, before I invite Sophie just to have a conversation. Genesis chapter 1 verse 28. The Bible says we were created, and then God blessed us. We were created in God's image. All of us as men and women, we were created in God's image. And once we were created, God blessed us to succeed and to have significance. So the fact that we came out of God and we were created in his image gives us great meaning and great significance. But then he blessed us so that we may be fruitful, that we may multiply, that we may have dominion. We were blessed to succeed. We were blessed to go out there and make an impact. Blessed to be fruitful, to multiply, and to have dominion. Fruitful, of course, is being able to succeed in what we do. That whatever we put our hands on, we succeed. In our work, in our family, wherever we are fruitful. Multiply is multiplying ourselves through other people and the people that we get to touch, that we multiply. And of course, there's dominion. Dominion is about our space in the world. What is it that God created us for? And how do we grow that? How do we make sure that we have that dominion, that we live in authority? So blessed to be fruitful, to multiply, and to have dominion. Sophie, maybe I could invite you here to say something as we continue about significance.
All right. So maybe what I would, as I was thinking about this session, there are 4 instances that come to mind that really made me stop and reflect about the whole issue of significance. I think the first one would be many years ago when I was in campus. I remember that I still am the 7th of 9 children and the first one to ever go to university locally. And it was a big achievement. And I remember feeling very achieved walking the streets of, I'm an alumni of Kenyatta University. So walking around the streets of KU, feeling very accomplished. First one from my small village to go to campus. And then one day, one of my professors passed on. Mm-hmm. And as I walked past the university chapel, the service was going on. And it actually made me realize, my goodness, here I am. I'm at the beginning of the journey, and this person's life has ended. And I think in those moments, what I thought about was, what this guy has gone, he has an amazing paper, but he might as well be buried with it because it's only good for him, for his own use. Mm-hmm. And I think at that moment, then my mind really shifted about what is really important. And I began to think about a legacy, and thought that what is truly significant in life is what you deposit in other people that can never be taken away. So I think that was my first reflection as a young adult about significance. I think the second one, very close home, is last year when my good husband was involved in an almost fatal accident. And I realized, again, something that really matters to us as women, just the whole thing of my status as a married woman. It occurred to me it could have changed in a split second like that. And again, I had to think about what is it that truly defines my life. And I think my thoughts and reflections out of that was that God doesn't owe me anything. To be married is a privilege, something that I need to be very intentionally grateful about and not take for granted. And I mean, just work on it. And sure, I think the thoughts that came then was, if it had ended, and I'm very happy that it didn't then, really. But I wondered, would I have said that my husband was a better person for having been married to me, for having hung out around me? And so those things I think about.
Welcome back. This is like part 3 now. Yeah, one of our worst times in recording. But we're going to finish. I think we had said, we had begun to talk about, after talking about living significantly, we had begun to talk about what the program is. And we want to invite those of you ladies out there who want to continue with this journey of living significantly, to be part of the Ezer program. In fact, we are launching right now. This coming week, we are going to be starting our online class, our first online class. We've had a couple hundred ladies go through the first 3 seasons that we have done for Ezer. And now we're inviting you with your friends, and some of you men who are watching, you can also invite the ladies in your life to join in. And this is going to be a lot more affordable. So we were just going through the topics, and Sophie is going to take us through that pretty quick, what it is that we go through. There are 8 lessons. We're going to do them in 5 weeks this time instead of 8 weeks. So in 5 weeks, the coming 5 weeks, we're going to be going through this. The way we're going to do it is through Zoom. So through Zoom, we're going to be having different groups led by different ladies who have already done this. They're going to be leading groups of smaller numbers of women. And then we are going to also have plenary talks. And we're going to have different ladies who are experiencing different of those topics speaking. And they're going to be coming to us through Zoom and the other media we're going to be using. And so we want to invite you to sign up. There's someone who is going to be talking to you. There's a link already attached to the Facebook page. Sign up if you would want to get involved in this. It's going to be each one of us getting the manual. So this is a manual that we're going to be going through. Ezer, reveal the woman within. We're going to get it to you wherever you are. Those of you who want it on soft, you're going to get it as well. And we're going to go through those 8 topics together. But Sophie, again, if you could just quickly mention the topics.
Okay, so I'd gone through this before we had a blackout. Woman by Design, where we talk about the essence of femininity, biblical femininity, I must add. And then we talked about the roles of a woman. What are those essential inbuilt roles that God has built? Again, all from a very biblical worldview, not our cultural traditions, but what are those 4 things? We talk about the 4-legged qualities, or rather roles, that God has given us as women, and it has to do with our design. We say that we are designed for influence, and there are those things that God has built within us that then allow us to influence our world as women, just like God intended it to be. And then we talked about Lady on a Mission, where every woman, we go through a guided process, and the end product is that every woman comes up with a personal life mission that then defines the things that she will say yes to. and the things that she will say no to, depending on whether or not they are aligned with their life mission.
Yeah. So the first part, which is also very experiential, we give you some experiences to go through, is Design for Influence. As Sophia said, is Woman by Design, Roles of a Woman, the 4 Essential Roles of a Woman, and Lady on a Mission. Then we go now to the second part.
The second section, where we talk about deep. So we sort of go very deep into our journey, our personal journey. Every woman goes through their personal journey, reflecting, how has life wounded me? How have the brokenness affected me as a woman? And so we talk about the wounded soul as a woman. So I talked about the first thing that we talk about, Woman by Design, Roles of a Woman, Lady on a Mission. And the second part, we talk about our woundedness, our journey as women, just seeing what are things, what is the baggage that we need to deal with, so that then it doesn't hold us back from the journey of influence that God has called us to. And then we also talk about sex and sensibility, again, just considering the issues around sexuality that tend to hold us back as women, the cultural myths, and to say, how does God want us to conduct ourselves around the issue of sex and sensibility? And then our sixth topic is about traps. And I think there are many things that would tend to bind us as women. And again, it's very personal. Every woman's story is very different. And so what we do is that we give the women an opportunity to just talk about what are the things, the snare, the thing that would easily entangle me and stop me from living significantly as a woman. So we talk about traps, and then finally we talk about the Lady Code. And the Lady Code is really a code of honor that we call every woman to live by. And this Lady Code, again, we talk about 4 qualities that every woman needs to aspire to, needs to embrace as their personal code of conduct. And we talk about how are we doing in those 4 things that we talk about. And then finally, we begin to talk about legacy. How do you want to be remembered when it's all done? What do you want people to remember you for? And here we call women to live above success, to rise to the place of significance, and to make every life and every decision that they have count towards them living bigger. I mean, living for something bigger than their own life, than money, than career, going upwardly career. And I'm not saying those things are beyond it, but like I say, those things could end. And we're saying, what is it that the bigger thing that has eternal value that God has called us to? So that's the Ezer journey. And just to give you a little sneak preview, we have should we call it like a motto or something, where we say that the Ezer woman stands securely, walks in purity, influences graciously, loves deeply, and leaves a worthwhile legacy. So we continue to talk through these 5 issues throughout the program. And I must say that so far we have had over 500 women go through the Ezer program, and the amazing stories of transformation have just been very touching. People's lives have women's lives have literally been turned around, and it's been such a blessing for me to just hear story after story of how lives were changed, of how destinies were redirected, how women were freed from years and years of bondage to pain, to addictions, and to many, many other things. And so I invite you as women to sign up. I think this is a good time for you to sign up and sort of have your before and after as a story, that moment crafted and created in this time. And I also invite the men that may be watching to also gift the significant women in your life. with an opportunity for them to just come and go through this as a journey. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to turn it over to Simon right now.
All right, ladies, we now come to an end of our conversation. I think once you sign up, there's a link provided for you. You get to get this book that is going to be guiding you either on soft, or we can send it to you via the courier services once you sign up. Now, the book costs 2,500 shillings. So this is going to be the manual that you go through. That is $25 for those beyond our borders. And then you pay an extra 2,500 only for the course. For the sessions that we're going to have in 5 weeks, it's come down to only 2,500. That is another $25. So total 5,000 Kenya shillings or $50 for the book, but also for the course, for all the sessions we're going to be doing. As we said, this is very experiential. It's not just about talking and giving lectures. It's about some activities we do together to gain ourselves in revealing the woman within. And so again, get the details as you sign up. You'll be going to be given the details. We begin this coming week, early in the week, but we will only let those who have signed up know the details and how to join us on our Zoom conversation, the first one. And after that, we'll be in small groups as well. As we said, we get to do plenary conversations where women who have lived through all of these lessons get to give a talk. And then after that, in small groups, we get to discuss and we get to build up the journey. So welcome to this journey. Let's do it together. Let's experience the transformation that we have seen with a lot other ladies. So if you sign up on the link provided or leave a message on our Facebook page or go to the Transform Nations website, then we will give you all the details. Sorry again for all the interruptions today. I believe that we have learned something. And for those of you who have already done it or may not be able to do it, you've gotten a few points about living significantly. God bless you. Have a good evening, and we will see you soon.